Hey y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna just jump right into it, okay? 2 years ago, I was a heavy smoker and I felt like THC and weed and all that was about to come to Kentucky to be commercialized. And I realized that there was no market for female smokers. Like there was one where we could buy stuff for smoking, but it was not specifically catered to us. So I came up with an idea, and that was to create a smoke shop. Since I was working full time, I had way too much going on to have some sort of like brick and mortar building, but I thought about coming up with an online store. And because I'm into like the bougie aesthetic, the sparkly, the really girly, sexy, luxurious, I decided to call it Sadiddy Smoke Shop. However, I no longer smoke weed. Listen, I no longer smoke weed. I can't guarantee to, but anyway. And I still didn't want to let this idea go to waste. So, I got to thinking, what can the premise for this be? What can the premise for smoking but luxurious but sexy for women be? How do you craft that? How do you make smoking an experience with Sadiddy Smoke Shop? Well, I wanted it to look, or I wanted the appearance of the products to look like this behind me. I wanted it to be glam. I wanted it to be something that you could smoke or you could use to smoke by yourself, or if you had a partner, or the night with your girls, just like multi-purpose, because it's nice to look at, because it's glamorous. It's something you want to touch. It's something that you want to have by your bedside. Something like an accessory or accessories that would go with this. Or, if you weren't in the bathroom, then before you were getting ready for bed, when you were laying in bed, when you were spending time with yourself, having your me time, whatever that consisted of, you wanted to have you a little smoke and feel good if you were a smoker, of course. So, I wanted it. First, I had to figure out what that would look like. And the most basic thing I came up with was jewelry, like jewelry inspired. That would be something that would make a woman want to pick it up all the time, whatever it was pertaining to, her smoking accessories. Because I see people with vapes and ugly vapes in their hand all the time. They pick it up and put it down. So why wouldn't you want to do that, with your smoking products that you purchase that you can use over and over again? Doesn't that make sense? So initially, I wanted to come out with a full range of things to show you guys according to my designs and the things that I had in my head. But I'm on a bit of a budget, so I'll just show you with the little stuff that I came up with. When looking at bedrooms that look like this, I was thinking to myself, what would this lady be smoking on when she was in her room? And I came up with something that maybe it would appear like rings, the rings that she might wear on her hands. So this is one of the little bitty pipes that I came up with. So the middle of it, or the front of it, looks like a ring. I rimmed it in pearls, but it just looks like a little dainty ring. And then the sides I rimmed in crystals and pearls, but I didn't want to do the whole thing in crystals and pearls because I wanted you to still be able to see the smoke billowing out of it. And because jewelry comes in all colors, of course, I had to start getting creative with the colors. So for something red, I found a pipe that had a rose in it. So I decided to go with the rose, go decorate according to the rose. So I put crystals on the top of it, and there's the rose on the inside. It doesn't come out. You could see it like that. And I rimmed the whole body of it in crystals, and then the top of the pipe, and then the end of it. This is not the mouthpiece. This is the mouthpiece. The mouthpiece, I also rimmed in red. You can see the crystals kind of coming off because it was a little janky. I was doing this really quickly, but I wanted it to be like, ooh, you laying in your red bedroom with your rose pipe and all of that stuff. And it's just really a sexy experience. For a baby pink themed bedroom, or maybe pink and cream, or even cream, I was thinking something simple but still girly and soft and dainty. So I came up with pearls. So this is a one hitter, or they call it a one hitter. It is a pipe. It doesn't really look like it though. The where you put your stuff in is just really small. But it is just a never-ending succession of pearls around it. And I actually use about 6 or 7 rows of pearls and like diagonally rim them. I should have left a little bit more for the mouthpiece, but yeah, something like that slips really discreetly in your bag, in your purse, or in your nightside drawer and stuff. And it really doesn't look like smoking materials, which is part of what I was trying to, you know, that's part of the theme that I was trying to go with. That is more so, is this jewelry or is she smoking out of this? Like, what is really going on here? Yeah, so after that, I kind of ran out of budget to keep designing things because I did have bigger pipes in mind and I was going to use bigger stones and more colors. But now that I am giving the idea away, you guys can take that and run with it. Turn it into a whole line of things. And it's so crazy. I came up with the idea one night because I am a person who, before the last couple years, used to always wear jewelry. Like, I love to adorn myself. So I was actually smoking one night and I was organizing all my body jewelry and all that stuff that I actually get from wholesale places like AliExpress and Alibaba and all of that stuff. Like, all of this stuff can be put to use. Like, even the smallest nail art looks similar to the body jewelry and can be used to beautify something else that we use all the time, like stuff like this. Take it and turn it into something beautiful. I have seen so many beautiful shaped pipes, so many beautiful ashtrays and stuff, but they're all so plain. They could use a little bit of bling. And I know that that can come off a little bit tacky, but it really doesn't matter because there's plenty of girls just like me who love that stuff. Like, it makes you feel like a princess. It makes you feel like sexy. And you know, while I was talking about pipes and showing you guys the pipes and my ideas for bigger pipes and the little small one hitters and stuff like that, it does not have to stop there whatsoever. Like, my ideas were to embellish and crystallize and pearlize and gold wrap so many different things. For instance, like sexy glass jars to stash your goods in, or like diamond ashtrays or crystal ashtrays, just beautiful glass ashtrays, or diamond embellished rolling trays. You know, like take the clear rolling trays and embellish them with diamonds or like around, or you could make like acrylic trays with like a diamond overlay. Like, the sky is the limit. Like, even with grinders, the tops of them could have diamonds all over them or be wrapped with something fancy. Like, then roach clips, like the little clips that you hold, you know, you can put diamonds on that. You can put glitter on it. Like, some of it sounds tacky, but the way that I had it in my mind sounds really good. Like, what else? Beautiful embellished lighters, beautiful metals, rose gold inspired, you know what I mean? Like, in different shapes, like anything that you would want to show off in your purse, or anything that you don't want your homegirl to have because she's gonna take it home with her. Stuff like that. And then I also wanted to go into like pink and red rolling papers, anything that came off as feminine and girly and glam. Oh, and fancy, sexy smelling air fresheners. Like, the sky is the limit with those, especially if you come up with like ideas for them on your own and don't just like sell the ones that come out of the stores. Like, ooh, people are making their own perfumes and body oils now, but I think there's just as much of a market for like air fresheners from smoking. What else? And not just with diamonds, like it can be gold wrapped. I had a lot of ideas for gold wrap things, just because I like gold overlays and stuff like that. So wherever you want to take it to, I feel like it will be an amazing place because the market for this is as yet untapped. Like, women are smokers too, and they do not have a lot of stuff that caters to them. Oh, and lastly, the world is going to a way more spiritual place everywhere. So you don't just like have to cover all these things with like the fake diamonds and the glitter and all of that. They can be covered with stones, like beautiful stones on your grinders, at your setting with the intention before you smoke to have an enlightening experience, like with amethyst and jade and stuff like that. Like anything you can think of, you can make. And that's what I was thinking of, a very expansive business with this, because smoking is not going anywhere, and neither is glamour, especially not in 2023. And before I go, so why am I giving this idea away? Why do I not want to hold on to this idea? Why am I giving this away to the viewers to have? It's for a few different reasons. Not only do I not smoke THC anymore, having a smoking business or a smoke shop or what have you, that's not the direction that I'm trying to take my life in anymore, number one. And number two, I attract scammers. So if I were to have like a business, like I feel like people would try to scam me left and right, and nobody has time to like keep chasing down or like chasing after people who are like taking their inventory and doing chargebacks and all this stuff. Like, who has time for that? And people are doing that more and more, and I would certainly be no exemption. So I don't have time for that. That's too much overhead for the life that I'm trying to live. Three, there are so many people who like wanted this idea. I come up with ideas all the time for businesses. I'm a very creative, very innovative person. So though I did hold on to this for a while, this idea is not the end for me when it comes to businesses and creating things. So now I want everybody to have it. I want to see what everybody comes up with. Hell, I still might be buying paraphernalia myself, even though I'll be using it for a different purpose, you know, just to have, because I love trinkets. So many different people wanted this idea to claim as their own. Now I'm giving it to everyone to see what everybody else can do with it. I'm letting it go free. And if you have an idea and you don't use it and you just hold on to it selfishly, it's going to find its way to someone else anyway, because that's how ideas do, or at least that's what I've been taught. And I believe that. So I'm just like letting it go freely now, as opposed to holding on to it and being selfish and keeping someone else from prospering. This is just one idea for me, and I have a lot to offer the world in terms of creativity. So I want you all to enjoy this one, because it's going to be a moneymaker, I promise you. So